Welcome to the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic, brought to you by SUVTV.com, or brought to you on the SUVTV.com. Lots of sponsors we want to thank for helping us host this wonderful broadcast of this wonderful event. It's a lot of fun here at Corinth High School in Corinth, Mississippi, home of the Warriors. But you will not see the Warriors in action in this one. They will be playing later on today. They actually have the 6:30 game tonight. But right now we're about to see the Bearcats from Baldwyn High School, 45 minutes down the road here in Mississippi, take on the Mount Pleasant Tigers from Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. It's about a 2-hour drive from them. So both of these teams drive in from a little ways away to play this one. Mount Pleasant actually played yesterday. They lost a heartbreaker, 52-49. They were led in scoring by Walter Crawford yesterday, who had 21 points. They are a very scrappy defensive team, and they will flat out come after you. But they've got their hands full with a very disciplined, balanced scoring Baldwyn Bearcat team. They are 3-0 on the year. Mount Pleasant, after the loss yesterday, is 0-1. Baldwyn competes on the 2A level. Last year they were actually runner-up in the state. So the state runner-up from last year's 2A level. They are led McKay. He is their point guard. He wears number 22. And he was actually the player of the year according to the Daily Journal last year. But although he is their leader, he is not their leading scorer per se. They have a very balanced scoring attack, and they like to trap all over the floor. And we just learned that on the first possession. They get a steal. They push tempo. They're a very disciplined team with great ball movement and a good basketball IQ. This Bearcat team will just flat out wear you out with their ball movement. But Mount Pleasant plays spectacular D. And I was talking to the coaching staff for Baldwyn. They said, we know we got our hands full. This is an athletic Mount Pleasant team that can flat out run. And so this is going to be an exciting matchup. We had an exciting one, game number 1 of the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic, day 2. And this one promises to be the same. That was the aforementioned McKay in the corner there. He comes up empty with that three-point attempt. And quickly back the other way, hard to the rim. That was Jordan Woodson, but he's going to be called for the charge right as he got to the rim. A defender snuck in underneath him and took the charge. McKay brings it up into the front court. Connor McKay. There's also Christian McKay on the team. A ball movement around the outside, working against a 2-3 zone from Mount Pleasant. A pump fake. Stop and pop from the elbow. Shot up, no good. That's Felix Hayes, another one of the scorers that can have double figures on any given night, says the coaching staff. He might average 7 or 8 points a game, but one game he'll have 15, the next one he'll have 6. Mount Pleasant's going to work it around the outside. That was Bradley Gill. He gets it on the inside, and some steps called there. That's Tez Rogers. Tez, a bruiser on the inside. He had 6 yesterday and 7 or 8 rebounds in the contest. He can stretch and shoot a little bit, Tez can, but namely he roams the paint. McKay up top, swings it over to Hayes. Hayes, a skip pass. Now a penetrate, stop and pop, good looking jumper there. That's Kobe Agnew. Agnew looked very calm, cool, and collected on that penetration 15-footer. A lost art in basketball today is that penetrate and pull up 15-foot shot. Slipping in the short corner there, it's Jordan Woodson. Lost his footing, and he's called for the walk. Mount Pleasant forces another turnover. Baldwyn forces another Mount Pleasant turnover. Hayes on the wing. Now McKay up top. Bounce pass in the corner. Lost it off his leg. That's Kobe Agnew. A slow and sloppy start to this one. 5.5 to play in the first quarter. It's 2-0. Mount Pleasant working it around the outside. Here's a penetrate and pull up 6-footer. Left it short. Only got the net underneath the rim. And now McKay crossing over his dribble into the front court. Now an interior look. Biggest player on the floor is number 34. That is Chet Barber. Chet fades away from about 6 feet and puts that through. 30-second timeout from, I believe, Baldwyn called it after the score. And so they take a 30-second timeout, and that gives us a chance to thank our sponsors. Powerade, we've raised our game. The Hampton Inn, welcoming all teams to the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. Physicians Urgent Care, get in, get out, and get well. And Crossover Basketball, providing coaches with full statistical breakdowns of their game film. Mount Pleasant to inbound. Trailing by 4. Into the front court. Jashawn Miller has it taken away. Quickly the other way, an easy layup for Kobe Agnew. He's got 4. And Baldwyn in that full court pressure. They press all over the floor and will sometimes trap out of it. This is Woodson now. Woodson in the lane. Strong to the rim. Floats it up there. Batted around. No good. Recovered by Baldwyn underneath. Some bodies fly. And here comes Baldwyn with a run out the other way. Strong to the rim. Felix Hayes gets his first 2. And that prompts a timeout from Mount Pleasant. An 8-0 run to start this game. Mount Pleasant kind of rocked back on their heels. We'll take a break with them. You're watching the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic, a broadcast powered by SUV TV. Mount Pleasant to inbound, struggling with full court pressure from Baldwyn right in front of us. Here's Woodson crossing over. He's into the front court now. Slips and falls. It goes off his arm. It'll be Baldwyn basketball. Turnover central right now for Mount Pleasant. Not the way they wanted to start it. They're in an 8-0 hole, and Baldwyn has the basketball. Here comes McKay into the front court. McKay's going to let a quick 3 go. He's tried 2 now, has missed them both. He's 0 for 2. Here's Woodson into the front court. Behind the back dribble, avoiding the defenders, and they're wanting to trap. Baldwyn is. Good, strong take to the rim there, and a finish for Walter Crawford. He was the leading scorer yesterday with 21, and he's got 2 in this one. They've got to get him the ball and let him work in space. McKay, no-look pass. Hayes for 3. That's nothing but nylon. Felix Hayes knocks it in. And Baldwyn has brought quite a few fans with them. They made the drive, and they're being loud. It's a 45-minute drive for them. In the lane, here's Crawford again, really forcing the issue. He got the basket to go, but they're going to call a walk first. I guess he had it pinned against his waist. Coaching staff to our left thought that he just got his 2 steps like you're allowed after you pick up your dribble. As long as the player is in motion towards the hoop, they're given those 2 steps there. And in the NBA, sometimes you get 3 and 4 if you play it just right. Skip pass, big collision here. Woodson breaks up that pass like a defensive back. And in transition, a quick 2 for Jashawn Miller. He's fouled and will go to the line for 2. Mount Pleasant really needed that. And I tell you, Jordan Woodson's a little shaken up because that was a collision right in front of us. I heard the contact of the 2 players. It really was like a defensive back playing football. You know, it's Egg Bowl day here in the state of Mississippi. It's a big deal. Mississippi State and Ole Miss, arguably the biggest Egg Bowl there's ever been, with these two teams being highly ranked and both having time in the top 5 this year. A lot of people are thinking about that today, but inside this gym, it's all basketball. It's a lot of fun. We've got some big-time recruits coming in. We'll have our own version of the Egg Bowl. A Mississippi State commit and an Ole Miss commit will go at it here in just a little bit. 3 ball on the way, no good. Cleared off by Mount Pleasant. That was Agnew. And this one's deflected out of bounds by Baldwyn. It's that full court pressure and active hands giving Mount Pleasant some issues. And he's going to bring it up right into the middle of a trap, but he passes out of it. Here's Mount Pleasant. That's Crawford in the lane. He has a way of scoring. Back iron, no good. Baldwin can't corral the rebound, and it'll stay Mount Pleasant basketball underneath their. That was Mount Pleasant looking to inbound here. Long pass. Woodson's going to corral it in the backcourt. Crosses over into the front now. Into the lane goes Woodson. Stop and pop. That's a 20-footer. No good. McKay clears the rebound. And here comes Baldwin the other way. McKay, deep 3 on the way. He got it. He's 1 for 3 from downtown. I'm sure he's glad to finally see one go through. Well, you can see why they were state runner-up last year. They come at you from all 5 positions. All 5 can score, it seems, and they're just very balanced, good discipline. Deshaun Miller up top. Swings it over on the wing. Here's Crawford. He's their scorer. He goes baseline. He's pushed on the way. We have a foul. And we're going to call in the foul before we let subs happen. Minute and a half to play in the first quarter. 14-4 is your score in favor of the Bearcats. This is another one of the games that features a Mississippi team versus an out-of-state team. Mount Pleasant being from Tennessee. Just about every game is set up like that. We have one game later between Madison Prep and Lee. That's 2 teams, both from out of state. Prep from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Lee from Huntsville, Alabama. Struggling to get it inbound. Now Crawford has it in the corner, spinning, going baseline, lost control. Another turnover for Mount Pleasant. Baldwin wants to run. Now they'll set up their set. Swinging it around the outside. Oh, there's a pass just leaped up and stolen by Mount Pleasant. A rare turnover for Baldwin. Now we got a loose ball on the floor. Who wants it more? It'll end up being a jump ball. Multiple players getting their hands on it. And a 4-player substitution for Baldwin. He let his starters get a quick breather, and now they're all back in. And now we have an issue at the scores table, and I'm wondering if they saw the same thing I did. I don't have a 42 on my roster for Baldwin. He never touched the ball or scored or anything during the short time he was in, so that is why it wasn't an issue. And so now I think we are trying to sort this out. I'm not sure if that's what the issue is or not. Maybe it's a Mount Pleasant player they don't have on a roster. 33 is not in the book is what that should be. DJ Bullock. He has a different jersey for home and away. And so he was probably wearing number 4 yesterday as they were the away team, but he's number 4 in this one. And that's what it is. I'm sorry for the silence, but we're listening to the coaches discuss this with the officials right now, and that's what it is. We're going to take a timeout to sort this out. We'll get an official word on what's going on, but that's what it is. DJ Bullock not in the book because he has switched jersey numbers from yesterday. So we'll take a break. You're watching this broadcast. It's the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic on SUV TV. And we got some clarification. It is DJ Bullock in the game. There was a technical foul assessed to Mount Pleasant for that, though, because he was not listed in the book correctly. So DJ Bullock is in the game. He's guarding the ball now, wearing 33. McKay made one of 2 free throws for the technical foul, so all that happened there is Baldwin got a point out of the deal. That could play a factor later on. It's 15-4 right now. Baldwin with an 11-point lead, 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. Baldwin with the basketball, wearing red with white writing on their jerseys. Mount Pleasant in all white with blue trim. Baldwin Bearcats from 45 minutes down the road here in Mississippi, Baldwin, Mississippi. And Mount Pleasant from Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, about 2 hours from here across the state line. Here's some movement on the inside. It's a putback for Chet Barber, biggest player on the floor. He's got quickly the other way. Mount Pleasant at the buzzer. Good if it goes, and he got it. That was a big shot there for Travell Bailey. They needed that badly as the Mount Pleasant Tigers were trailing at the time by 13, and now they're trailing by 11, says the scoreboard, but I thought the officials motioned for that to be a 3-point goal. We'll try to sort that out, but here's the way Baldwin has been scoring as of late. McKay, a deep 3, facing the zone, just let the zone sag off, and then he pulled from deep and canned it, and they have given Bailey a 3-pointer on that. It is 17-7, a 10-point lead for Baldwin. Back at Corinth High School, head coach Raymond Craven had one implore for his team during that timeout for his team, and it was play hard. That's what he wants his Mount Pleasant Tigers to do here in the second quarter. They find themselves down by 10, 17-7. The Baldwin Bearcats have come out on they started the game with an 8. They've continued that momentum pretty much throughout the whole first quarter. Penetrating and getting fouled as he shot the fadeaway, Jordan Woodson on the penetration there, and he'll go to the line for 2. Pleasant needs every point they can get, and right as I say that, Woodson off back iron, no good. Yet to get on the book scoring is Woodson. He's taken several shots. He still won't get in as he missed that one as well. Here comes Baldwin now. Front court. It's McKay with the basketball. He's considered their leader, even though it's not always on the scorebook that way. Over the back foul against Chet Barber. Trying to use his size to reach over the top and grab that rebound, but he was caught in the act. Look at this, Baldwin. They just stay in that full court pressure and they trap out of it. Doesn't matter if you're Chet Barber, biggest player, or whoever it is. They want them all to be running. Mount Pleasant in transition, had a layup opportunity. It was deflected, and then a offensive rebound and another opportunity draws the foul. This is big Tez Rogers at the line. Not the tallest player by any means, but he's got a good wide frame and uses that to box out well. He's a bruiser in the paint, they say. Got that free throw. It's a good touch, too. He had I want to say he knocked down a couple outside shots yesterday in the game. He did. And he makes both free throws, showing off the touch. The lead is now 8. Mount Pleasant trying to climb back into this. It's their 2-3 zone that Baldwin has solved at times, but looked completely confused at times battling. Here's a 3 in the corner. No good. That's Felix Hayes with that shot attempt. McKay now lets a 3 go. They're shooting the outside shot. McKay gets his second 3. He now has 7. And that's one way to beat the zone. It's just to shoot over it. ball movement and getting a pass into the paint usually does it as well, but if you can shoot over it, you'll take 3 over 2 any day. Here's Woodson now, using the jab step. He's going to swing it around the outside. This is Jashawn Miller. Miller has Tez Rogers in the post. He's going to feed it to him. Rogers banging around down there amongst the trees, kicks it out. Woodson, step back. High degree of difficulty there, but Woodson canned it. Nothing but nylon. That was a very good move from Jordan Woodson. 6'2 senior. McKay in the lane, kicks it out. Some bodies on the ground, pass deflected. Last touch by Baldwin. It'll be Mount Pleasant basketball. That was Felix Hayes' pass, and now Hayes gets a deflection. Woodson pulls it out of the air. Back the other way, he slips and falls, and now comes Baldwin. Another rejection. Boy, they're letting them play. Now Mount Pleasant has a run out. Woodson can't corral the pass, finally does. Rogers uses his body but walks when he does. It's an 8-point lead for Baldwin, and they get the basketball after that flurry of activity. 6 minutes to play in the first half. McKay thought about the 3, now penetrates, floater in the lane. Tez Rogers planted his feet and took the charge. He's fired up about that, and so is the coaching staff. Miller to inbound, facing full court pressure. Miller gets it back, throws a pass into the middle. It's taken away. Good, strong take there. Felix Hayes, he'll go to the line for 2, drawing all kinds of contact. Could have got Miller or Crawford, either one, for that foul, but they're going to go give it to Miller underneath, and it'll be Hayes at the line. Hayes converts on the first. Give him 6 on the game so far. And no good on the second, as that one took a victory lap and came out. Woodson working against full court pressure. This pressure is going to wear on Mount Pleasant as the game goes on. They're not going to let up. Baldwin, that's what they do. They pressure the full court. Miller, penetrating kick. It was deflected twice. Hayes got his hand on it. Then Woodson got his hand on it. And it landed on the bench of Baldwin. It'll be Baldwin basketball. Mount Pleasant staying in that 2-3 zone. There's an entrance pass. Chet Barber, turn around, got the roll. He got good English on his shots. Chet Barber, he's got 6, all 6 from that same block. Felix Hayes really moving his feet, pestering Woodson. Now he's clapping his hands. Miller on the wing. Miller thinking about making a move, now crossing over his dribble, fakes the crossover, gets in the lane, kicks it out to Woodson. Woodson thought about the 3, working against the pesky Hayes. Woodson lost control, now dumps it on the inside. They penetrate and kick, going baseline, good, strong take there. Bradley Gill will go to the line for 2. Gill at the line in a quiet Warrior Gymnasium, home of the Corinth Warriors. This is a great setup for basketball. It's got a good, kind of has a historic local feel to it. Both of those elements make it a very cool feel, especially when it fills up. You know, yesterday, as the day went on, it just kept getting more and more full. And these old gyms like this, one of the coolest things, not if you're a player, but if you're a fan, is the echo you get. And it makes this place loud, and it's a lot of fun to be in. Felix Hayes in the lane. He's fouled, and we'll go to line for 2. His play has kind of slowed down after this frantic pace we had there for a little while. Hayes converts on the first. As some subs check in, these old gyms, high school I played at, my first 2 years of high school, we were in a really old, loud, echoing, hot gym. Last 2 years, we were in a brand new air conditioning gym, and our winning percentage was a lot better in the old one because we were used to the heat and opposing players weren't. Corinth has a little bit of that feel to it. Reverse layup, no good, and a battle for the rebound is going to result in a jump ball. That was a nifty move by Travell Bailey, but he could not convert on the reverse. There's some college gyms that still have that feel, but very few of them. Fog Island Fieldhouse in Kansas is one. Cameron Indoor Stadium is another, and those two speak for themselves how hard they are to play in. Felix Hayes gets 2 more. He's starting to fill up his stat sheet. In transition for Mount Pleasant, we had a flop under the rim, no call, and a loose ball foul. It'll go against Mount Pleasant. Baldwin basketball. Bearcats have a 15-point advantage and seem to be securely in charge of this one. They've been that way from the opening tip. They started the game on an 8-0 run. The lead has ballooned to 15. Here's Felix Hayes. They're going to swing it around the outside. A nice little floater in the lane. Left it short. Got his own rebound. Put it up. No good. Battled around. Loose ball. He gets it again. That's good perseverance. Kobe Agnew. 3 shot attempts. The third one he finally gets to go. He got 2 offensive rebounds in the process. Battle for the loose ball off the miss. Comes out, Baldwin basketball, and McKay's going to get called for the carry because he got a little out of control there. You don't see that much. Connor McKay. McKay has 7 points. He is the point guard and kind of the basketball IQ guy for this. The whole team seems very disciplined, very smart, but McKay is the leader. Got a little carried away. The pressure from Mount Pleasant forced that. Almost an entirely new lineup for Mount Pleasant. The only one looks like Rogers and Miller are both in the game. They're both starters. But everybody else is substitute in, and they're trying to mix it up and get some momentum, but it's just not working. This Baldwin defense is suffocating. Only 13 points for Mount Pleasant. There's a pull-up jumper, and he made that look easy. Felix Hayes leading all scorers in this one. Baseline jumper, very effective there. Here's Miller now in the lane with the left hand. That might be a jump ball. Felix Hayes thought his hand was on it, but instead they're going to get him for getting a piece of the arm as well. They call it on Agnew. And just Sean Miller will go to the line for 2. Walter Crawford set to check in for Mount Pleasant. They need to get him going. He had over 20 points in yesterday's game. 21 to be exact. And he did it from both the outside and inside. He hit 4 3-pointers. And had the rest on field goals and a free throw. And Miller gets the second to roll in. Ryan Wiesen into the front court, kicks it in the corner. This is Agnew. Agnew goes baseline, is fouled. I do not believe he was in the act of shooting. And this game really has slowed down. This second quarter has taken longer than maybe any quarter in the Classic so far. Had a couple timeouts, lots of fouls, and just can't get a good flow going. Baldwin is okay with that. They're up by 18. 3-ball in the corner from McKay, no good. Batted around, loose ball. Mount Pleasant basketball after it was last touched by Felix Hayes for Baldwin. Here come the Tigers into the front court. Here's Crawford with the power dribble. Kicks it out to Woodson. Woodson for three. Back iron, no good. Crawford, strong in the paint. Gets the two, and that's what they need to see. Walter Crawford, Mount Pleasant wants a shot at winning this game. Walter Crawford has to get going. Here comes McKay. Pull up, just kind of a, you're going to sag off. I'll just kind of step in here, get right to where I want, and I'm going to let this go. How about the steal and save by Hayes? McKay wants the basketball. He's in the corner. Agnew was going to throw it to him, but he lost control. Now Woodson in transition. Stop and pop from 15, and he got it. Woodson has 5. And Woodson's not going to let McKay get that easy three again. They're inside to Chet Barber. He tries to go glass. He can't do it, but there's Felix Hayes on the backside rebound. 2 guys went over to guard Barber, which left which left Hayes wide open on the putback. That went off Felix Hayes' leg, out of bounds. It'll be Mount Pleasant basketball. And I don't know if this is a timeout. No, it's a full 5 substitution is what that is. They all huddled up over there. That's because they brought in 5 new players. I said it yesterday, if you're from the state of Kentucky, that's called a platoon now. We've learned that. Lingo of every year, it seems, John Calipari comes up with new lingo for the college basketball world, and that's his this year, is platoons. Rogers banging on the inside. He's fouled. Go to the line for 2. Mount Pleasant down by 19 in a quiet gym here in Corinth High School. It's quiet now, but it won't be quiet later. We have some incredible talent on display. It'll be Miller Grove and Callaway as the nightcap tonight. You'll see Alterique Gilbert with Malik Newman for Callaway, 2 of the highest recruited players in the nation. Into the front court for the Bearcats now. They have a entirely new lineup in. No starters on the floor. Here's penetrate and kick. 3-ball on the way. The shot was deflected. And here comes Woodson quickly the other way. Behind the back dribble and a pesky defender from behind. That's Marco Harris, a 5'3" junior. Marco is lightning quick. And he is a pesky defender. Crawford misses the 3. Loose ball. Rebound. Mount Pleasant gets another opportunity at it. Interior pass. Going to work it around. Here's Rogers penetrating. He's hammered. And we'll go to the line for 2 more. And I look over at the scores table. 5 more Bearcats at the score table. So this will be platoon number 3 for the Bearcats. Rogers converts on the first. He's got 3. All 3 points coming from the free throw line. And Rogers converts on the second as well. So he's got 4 points all at the free throw line. There's 10 seconds to play in the first half. Turnover for Baldwyn. It's going to be covered by Mount Pleasant. Here comes Miller. He's got 5 seconds and a 15-point deficit. They need a bucket here. Crawford pulls from really deep. Left it short. No good. And Baldwyn heads to the locker room. All 50 of them, it seems. They brought a bus full of players. They got a full roster. And they lead by 15. This has been Baldwyn's first half. Felix Hayes leads all scorers, and there's a baseline jumper for him. You can see how smooth he makes it look. We'll take a break. Logan Stout bringing you the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic from Corinth, Mississippi on SUVTV.com.
Crossover Intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover Intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the Crossover effect.
Welcome back to the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic at Corinth High School in Corinth, Mississippi. Mount Pleasant and Baldwyn going at it right now. Mount Pleasant from Tennessee and Baldwyn from Baldwyn, Mississippi, about 45 minutes down the road. It has been all Baldwyn in this one. They lead by 15 as we start the second half. It's Mount Pleasant with the basketball, trailing 37-22. Baldwyn has been suffocating on the defensive end, forcing lots and lots of turnovers. They tried to force another one there, but they're going to get a jump ball instead and get the ball as a result of alternating possession. Their leader has the basketball. That would be Connor McKay. But on the inside, they're going to try to work an inside-out game. Felix Hayes leads all scorers in this one. Here he is on the wing. McKay now to Agnew. Big, strong move on the inside. Batted around, loose ball. Here's Hayes again, cleans it up and puts it in. Felix Hayes, give him two more. Leading all scorers. On the far side, here's Crawford. He really needs to get going after 21 points yesterday. He only has 4 in this one. There's Miller in the lane. Chet Barber was just waiting for him. Chet Barber takes the charge and will go the other way. Another turnover for the Tigers. It's Deshaun Miller. Felix Hayes with 17 points. He's just a sophomore. So Baldwyn, 1 year removed from a state runner-up. Last year on the 2A level, they seem to be poised to make another run this year. And then over the next couple years, they're loaded. They're very young. Lots of sophomores get time. Marco Harris plays quite a bit. He's just a junior. Kobe Agnew's just a junior. As they're cleaning up some perspiration on the floor. Connor McKay, their point guard, is just a junior. Chet Barber, big man in the middle, is a senior. And so is Romaro Crump. Both of those guys play quite a bit, and they are seniors. But it's a junior and sophomore ran team. Here's McKay, drawing some contact. No foul. Barber gets the rebound. He's fouled on the putback by Lorenzo Brown. Barber and Brown banging in there. It's two big bodies. And Chet Barber will go to the line for 2 free throws. And a chance to extend this lead. It's 17 right now. Barber with good touch makes the first. Barber, back iron, no good. And how about that? The offensive rebounds, just a 50-50 ball. It's deflected. Last touch by Mount Pleasant. Baldwyn has the basketball again, leading by 18. Inside, there's Hayes, no good. Tried to get his own rebound, couldn't do it. Woodson clears for Mount Pleasant, and here they come into the front court. Woodson with the left hand, switches to the right at the last minute. Barber clears the rebound, gets it to McKay. Connor McKay into the front court, lost control, jump ball underneath. It'll be Mount Pleasant basketball this time. Last jump ball went to Baldwyn. No, Baldwyn. Last jump ball went to Mount Pleasant. Pass underneath. There's Crump. He can't get on the board. Barber on the offensive rebound opportunity is fouled. And he kind of laughs off that. I think he's laughing because he's found himself on the floor a lot more in the past couple possessions than he has all game. Too strong on the first attempt. Barber doesn't exactly finish his follow-through on that free throw. He kind of stops it right at the end. Might get a better roll if he didn't. And that came off wide right. Here's Crawford in the front court. Really needs to get some offense going if Mount Pleasant wants a chance. Crawford, jump stop. He's bumped in the process. It was either McKay or now they're going to get Agnew with the bump. Crawford Jab step, penetrates in the lane, elevates, can't get it to go. Loose ball on the floor. Brown had a hand on it. Rogers ends up with it. Chet Barber takes it away. And here comes McKay. Running the floor is the big man Barber, and he's going to get rewarded. He gets 2 underneath. Good find by McKay and good hustle by Barber. Barber has 9. Miller into the front court, trailing by 20. The Tigers continue to dig themselves into a hole. Here's Crawford spinning in the lane, and that was a smooth move. They need more of that. Crawford now has 6. Here's Crump up top. Now McKay. McKay off of him again, and he makes him pay. That is how McKay has made all 4 of his 3-pointers. And in the backcourt, Agnew forces a walk from Miller, another turnover for Mount Pleasant. McKay has 4 3-pointers in this game, and all 4 have been a result of Mount Pleasant just sagging in that zone and McKay just being opportunistic and seeing that he has some space and just letting it fly. Here's Crump on the wing, not a shooter. Interior pass to Hayes. He's fouled as he goes up for 2, and we'll go to the line. Hayes good on the first, now has 18 in the game. Just have not had an answer for him. In and out on the second, that was 3/4 of the way down. Here comes Crawford. Crawford in the front court, going one-on-one with McKay, kicks it out, penetrate and kick. This is a dribble drive offense here for Mount Pleasant, and then a 3 in the corner from Crawford, no good. Here comes McKay. McKay pounding the right-hand dribble. Now with a stutter step, hesitation, blows by the defender, draws the foul, and will get 2 free throws as an award. I believe they're going to get Crawford for the foul. Tez Rogers whistled for the foul. And McKay converts on the first. McKay with 14. He's in double figures. Barber has 9. Felix Hayes has 18. And that's pretty much all the scoring for Baldwyn. Kobe Agnew has 6. Romaro Crump, the only starter for Baldwyn not to score. Here's Crawford. Penetrate, kick. Crawford gets it back now at the top of the key. Wanting to make his move, kicks again. And now an interior pass, ball lost out of bounds. Another turnover for Mount Pleasant. DJ Bullock unable to reel that one in. A good push-ahead pass, and it's Agnew. A dump to Crump, and now Crump has his first 2 of the game, and all 5 starters have scored. And those are the only players that have scored for Baldwyn. Another turnover for Mount Pleasant. Here comes Agnew into the front court. Nifty little move. High for the block is Crawford. And unfortunately, I want to say Agnew has really hurt his ankle, or I'm not sure what he's holding, ankle or knee, but he went down deep as he tried to make that move from the right side of the lane to the left. And I fear for what that may be because he is in a world of pain, and that is a very tough ball player there. Kobe Agnew, and this gym wasn't real loud, but we have some Baldwyn and Mount Pleasant fans here, and now it is very quiet. You can see Agnew on the floor. They're going to help him up. That's a great sign that he felt good enough to get up, and actually he's putting some weight on it. That is great news. I feared the worst when I saw how much pain he was in. He went from right of the lane to left of the lane in transition. Just a lot of torque on his lower body when you do that. These are great athletes, though, and he looks to be he looks to be just fine, which is great news. 49-24 is your score, a 15-point commanding lead. A 25-point commanding lead for Baldwyn. In the lane, a wild attack to the rim. And they're going to do it again, just can continue to penetrate. That's Mount Pleasant's way. They want to keep penetrating, penetrate, kick, and then penetrate again. And that is Gillespie, Jordan Gillespie, a 6-foot wing junior for Mount Pleasant. And the officials are calling for a mop, I believe. And here comes, it's great, we have some local kids from the city of Corinth that are volunteering as our mop men for, mop and towel men for today's game. And they're going to clean that up underneath. And then hustle back, galloping back. That's great. You love stuff like that. It's a thrill of a lifetime for that kid to get out there and help the floor, help the game along. Free throw, no good. Jordan Gillespie at the line. He is not in the stat sheet yet as far as points goes, but he has played quite a bit. And can't get the roll on the second. A good attack to the rim. Tried to get the offensive rebound, but not able to do so. McKay finds a baseline cutter, battled around, loose ball. Hayes ends up with it, and sure enough, Felix Hayes puts it in for two and is fouled. And those are the 50-50 balls that Baldwyn has been winning. Felix Hayes muscled that one up to the rim and was fouled in the process. In the front court, stolen away, another turnover, and they threw it away. That was Ryan Weeson. He got the steal and tried to throw the look-ahead pass to Hayes, but Hayes went the other way. Into the front court. Here's Bailey, kicks it over in the corner. Gillespie's shot no good. Make that Melandix-McClure shot no good. And McKay will calmly bring it into the front court. Big lead for Baldwyn. They now lead by 28. Wesson over to McKay. McKay working against a tight defender. Gets around him. Misses the shot. Crump with the rebound. No good. Barber can't control it. And back the other way comes Bradley Gill. Gill into the front court. Has Bailey on the wing. Bailey gets the pick, sets his feet, lets it go for three, and knocks it in. Travell Bailey has all 9 points on 3 3-point field goal attempts. A good give and go for Crump. Crump gave that up, blew by his man, Romaro Crump. Blew by his man and got rewarded for it. A good pass, catch, and finish. Gillespie from the corner. Front iron, no good. Long rebound. Comes to McClure. He gives it up. And now Bailey. Three on the way. Way short. That nothing but air there. Here comes McKay. McKay into the front court. Good look-ahead pass to Felix Hayes, but led him by a little too much off the fingertips of Hayes and out of bounds. A rare turnover for Baldwyn. Minute 22 to play in the third. 54-27. Baldwyn in control. Bailey now into the front court. Gets it over to Gill. Gill looking up to the post. Threw it in to DJ Bullock, who lost it off his hand. Out of bounds, but it's foul against Barber. Gill to inbound. Gets it out to Bailey. Bailey kicks, penetrates and kicks. That's a good offensive possession there. McClure can't knock down the three. Here's Weeson off the backboard. Are you kidding me? Out of nowhere. That was a heads-up play by Ryan Weeson, and Felix Hayes loves it. The sophomore slams that one through off the glass, and now we have an air ball the other way. That was something else. Give credit to Ryan Weeson, because that young man is not in the scorebook yet for a stat, for points. He doesn't have a single point, and he had a chance at a wide open layup, and instead of taking his 2 points that he hadn't scored yet, he threw it off the glass for Felix Hayes to slam it in. There's a steal and finish for Gill. I think that caught everybody off guard, but maybe the Baldwyn bench. I almost feel like they knew that was coming, but the fans sure didn't. McKay throws a rifle pass that hits a photographer in the leg. Unfortunate. He's trying to get a good shot there and gets hit in the shin with a bullet pass from McKay. Three on the way at the buzzer is no good. 56-29. Before we head to break, we're going to let you see Ryan Weeson in transition. He's going to throw it off the glass for Felix Hayes. This is the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic on SUV TV. Mount Pleasant trailing by 24 with the basketball, working it around on the inside as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And pass deflected, loose ball. Crawford's going to pick it up and just pull. No good. We have looks like a new lineup in for Baldwyn. We'll have to get some of these names. It'll take us a second to figure them all out. And there's Crawford on the cleanup. Missed one put back, got it back, put another one in. And handling point guard duties now is Marco Harris. And he's got Austin Roberts with the basketball. Roberts penetrates, loses it, kicks it out. And Baldwyn doing their own form of penetrate and kick. And there's 2 points. That's number 42, who's not on my roster. So we have an unnamed Baldwyn Bearcat right now. In the lane, kind of a wild shot attempt for Woodson. Gets it back, he's fouled. And we'll go to the line for two as he was fouled trying to put that one back in. The foul is on 42. And not exactly sure who that is on the roster for Baldwyn. Woodson. Off back iron, no good. Quiet gym now. It was loud there for just a second as Felix Hayes put in the dunk off the backboard. Ryan Weeson left it for him. Converting on the second is Woodson. He now has 6. Marco Harris. Good interior passing there and a turnaround. Put up and in by Casey Cagle. Miller using the behind-the-back dribble to avoid a defender. They're going to dump it into Lorenzo Brown. He had good interior passing there with him and Rogers, and Brown's going to get 2. And a turnover in the backcourt keeps possession for Mount Pleasant. They're going to dump it into Rogers. Rogers banging on the inside, gives it to Brown. Brown is fouled before the shot. Three in the corner for Crawford. He's been cold all game. Can't get that one to go. Saved in bounds. It'll be Baldwyn basketball. Marco Harris gets it ahead. This is Roberts. Roberts kicks it in the corner. Mount Pleasant in transition, lost control. And Crawford is fouled in the backcourt. 6 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. This one will grind to a halt eventually. It's 60-34. It's just been a sloppy game for Mount Pleasant. Baldwyn, credit them for suffocating defense. And, you know, sometimes you don't have your day. Mount Pleasant just hasn't been able to get anything going on offense. Yesterday, Mount Pleasant lost right at the end in a great game with South. Lost by 3 to drop to 0-1. Barring a giant run from Mount Pleasant here in the fourth quarter, they will fall to 0-2. A 26-point advantage for Baldwyn as they work it around the outside. Harris gets it to Roberts. Roberts with the right hand. Oh, he has it knocked away by Miller, and here they are in transition. Mount Pleasant lost control of the ball. It's good defense by Harris in transition to get his hand on that one. Crawford was trying to get to the rim. And there's a look for Woodson. Here comes Marco Harris out of nowhere, just flying, and that ball was punished, but he'll go to the line for 2. So Lorenzo Brown spiked that one into the ground, but Harris was fouled underneath. Harris 5'3". Him and Roberts both listed at 5'3". A generous 5'3". And they are, if they're both 5'3", they use different rulers because they just gave each other a 5, and Roberts several inches taller than Harris. But Harris gets the second for his first point. Here's Crawford going baseline. Jumper is short, and here's the speed of Harris on display again in transition. Gives it up. Skip pass over to Roberts. Roberts going to let the 3 go. Off back iron, no good. Saved in bounds by Cagle, and it'll be Rogers. A look ahead to Woodson. Woodson can't control it, out of bounds. And he's shaken up on the play. Might have rolled the ankle a little. Roberts into the front court. I make it Harris into the front court, looking for Roberts. Here's a steal. Miller goes the length. Reverse layup, puts it in for 2. Jashawn Miller has 4 now. And that prompts a timeout from Baldwyn head coach Raymond Craven. And I believe that is a substitution timeout. It is. They're motioning for sub timeout. And yeah, that's the broadcast team has no issue with them just doing a sub timeout. It's always good to have a couple minutes in between games to catch our breath, reload for the next one. The next one will be a good one, Provine and Tupelo. We're excited about it. Provine Rams, they played yesterday. And they'll take on a new team to the tournament. Boys from Tupelo, Mississippi. So it'll be another, actually that one will be one of the few that we have 2 Mississippi schools squaring off. Yesterday we had that once with Marshall Academy and Shannon. That was a fun one. Baldwyn trying to run a set off of baseline inbounds, and they're going to get a lob to the inside, and putting it up for his first 2 points are Monty Price, the sophomore, 6'2 sophomore, power forward. Good strong take to the rim and finish. That's Travell Bailey. He's got 11 now. And handling point guard duties for Baldwin now is Christian McKay. McKay gets it over on the wing, and now an interior pass to Price again. Price's shot deflected, no good, ends up short. And McKay has it on the wing, interior, good look on the inside, and finishing again is Armani Price. He's got 4. Pushing it ahead, here's Crawford in the lane, burrowing his way in. He's fouled, and he's had a rough day, just cannot get one to go down after scoring 21 yesterday. Crawford will go to the line. Maybe seeing a free throw go through will help his rhythm. That often does, scores. Off right iron, no good. Crawford can't convert on the first. Walter Crawford, 6-foot junior. Rolls in the second. He's got 9. And substitutions across the board for both teams now. I don't think a single starter is in the game for either team. There's a baseball pass from McKay. Was looking for he was looking for Jalen Clark on the baseline, and I'm laughing because head coach Raymond Craven looked at McKay with just the funniest look, like, what was that? Where did that pass go? And this ball's deflected. It'll stay Mount Pleasant basketball. Also in for Baldwin, Noah Hancock, getting his first minutes. Baldwin has a full 15-man roster, but they actually brought about 20 players. Some of them just aren't listed on the roster. They just get to dress and sit on the bench. But it's fun for them to be able to come to events like this and get to be a part of the action. There's good interior passing, a lot of crossover dribbling on the inside, and a powerful move. He finally gets it up and in. That's Jordan Gillespie getting his first 2 points. He's fouled, going to the line. With a chance to convert the three-point play the old-fashioned way. If you're wondering where that came from, the old-fashioned way, it's because we used to not have a three-point line. So the only way to score 3 points on a possession would be to score, get fouled, and make the free throw. That one rolls off, batted out of bounds, and more substitutions for Baldwin. And I'm telling you, they've brought what looks like 20 or 25 players down to our right. And head coach Raymond Craven's trying to get them all to play. He's trying to get every one of them minutes if he can. Armani Price is making the most of his minutes. He's got 4 points. He's fouled, and will go to the line for a chance to get 2 more. Price good on the first. And good on the second. Felix Hayes leads all scorers. He's on the bench. His day is done. He'll finish with 22 and a dunk off the backboard, which was the loudest moment of the day so far. This is game number 2 of 7 today. We had 7 yesterday. And it's been a great event here in Corinth, Mississippi. Getting 2 underneath. That is DJ Bullock, his first 2 of the game. And a good bounce pass into Price. Price makes his move, has it blocked. And a putback attempt, rattles around, no good. Rebound, put up, no good again. They're going to keep putting it on the glass. Tyler Smith finally gets 2. For Baldwin, that's his first 2 of the game. Mount Pleasant trying to run a dribble drive, penetrate and kick offense. There's a floater from the baseline, no good. Baldwyn getting into their set. Tyler Smith for three, no good. Batted up, loose ball. And now McKay has it. He dumps it in the corner. Three ball on the way. The Baldwyn bench was about to go nuts. I don't have that young man on the roster in front of me. I'm telling you, Baldwyn has more players here. And there's a deflection. Another young man I don't have on our roster, number 30 for Baldwyn. Want to say that might be Riley Wade. Not positive on that, though. Apologies to those watching in Baldwyn who are seeing players that they know. We are given a roster before the tournament starts. It's really all we have to go off of. We talked to the coaches just briefly before the game, and they give us their pointers on what to look for their team and key players to watch, but it would take way too long for us to go over every player and make sure we have spelling and pronunciation and all that right. So it's a little behind the scenes of what goes on here. In between games, we're like ants running around here trying to get ready for the next. At the line, shooting two and making only the second for Mount Pleasant. That was Carson Russell, his first point of the game. And we're under a minute to play, 69-44. It's been all Baldwyn from the opening tip. They started the game on an 8-0 run and haven't looked back since. And that was Armani Price in the lane. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. Chance to get his 7th and 8th points. Got to say a special thank you to everyone at Corinth High School. They've been so friendly and welcoming. They've gotten together a large number of volunteers. They're all wearing these lime green shirts here, the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic shirts, and they've done a great job of everything from security to admissions into the ticket sales. I mean, they've done everything. And I noticed there's some billboards in Corinth that are up telling everyone about the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. So, I mean, it really is a credit to everyone here that has made this possible, people at Corinth High School and the city of Corinth, and the Lighthouse Foundation. I know they have a lot of people here running this event as well, and it has just been just a wonderful experience so far. A lot of times these tournaments like this, as Tyler Smith gets on the board again, he's got 3 now. A lot of tournaments like this can end up being unorganized at times, a little chaotic at times, but that's not the case here. It has been very well put together and ran and promoted. Off the steal, here's Price. I think he's called for a double dribble. He let his right hand get in on the ball as well. 70-44 is your score, a 26-point advantage with 27 seconds to play. Mount Pleasant has had a rough day here. They just have not been able to get the offense going. Baldwyn, their good maul movement and full court defense has helped them build this lead. A ball fake from Carson Russell had some people laughing at that, and then a quick turnover and a bomb on the way. It's going to bounce out of bounds. An unconscious pull there for Tre'vale Bailey. As time expires, he got the steal and let it fly. 70-44 is your final. Game number 2 in the books here from the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. The player of the game is going to go to Felix Hayes. He led all scores with 22 points, including an off-the-backboard slam as Ryan Wiesen threw it off the glass for him, and he put it home. Logan Stout, alongside the friendly people at SUV TV, bringing you this broadcast. There is more on the way from the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. Up next, it'll be Provine and Tupelo, and it's next here. You're watching a broadcast powered by SUV TV.